Hello and welcome to the Beau Show. It is me, your host, Beau Chevasu, broadcasting live from just south of Seattle, Washington, here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. As a matter of fact, if you're able to look at the screen right here, you could probably see the sunlight blaring into my eyes as we speak, as it is dipping below the mountains. The Cascades are out in that direction, and if you were to look at gorgeous Mount Rainier, you will most likely see it bathed in all its glory of that beautiful sunshine. So what makes this influencer broadcast unique is that I try to operate all of my videos within the realm of what I have created. And so I don't want to throw any other influencers under the bus because, well, let's just say that we're all a part of the same family here, but I do like to be upfront with my fans. I'll 2,100, over 100. I think we're at 2,106. And I like to tell you guys that I go out and actually utilize these things out in the field, and I capture B-roll, and then I come to you having curated that footage and present it to you for your edification and entertainment. So today we have a fun show for you, but as you well know, what makes a show professional? It's the bumper. Oh, that's just so much fun. Okay, so by the way, I can see everything that you do type in the chat here. So if you do happen to be one of those friendly people who wants to help boost the algorithm of this broadcast, I would appreciate even if you just put an emoji down there in the chat, because then Amazon will be happy and I will be happy too. But that's the only thing I ask of you. I imagine you probably already are following me, and I do thank you for that. And you are a part of the 2,106 individuals who are doing that. And hopefully you are edified and educated by the end of this broadcast. So what I've been doing lately is I have a big list of things that I have purchased off of Amazon. I purchased a lot off of Amazon, except for this t-shirt, Fight the Good Fight. I actually got it from some really cool Christian guys who have their own t-shirt company. And who knows, maybe they're on Amazon right now. I don't know, but it's a really cool design. I really like it. But this is probably the only thing on my body at the moment that I have not purchased on Amazon, except of course, maybe for the glasses, which I'm pretty sure they do sell prescription glasses on Amazon. They sell everything. It's amazing. So for example, the silicone ring right here, got that. Watch, pants, which I'm not going to show you. We're going to be appropriate here, but pretty much everything, including the slippers that I have on. They're so comfortable. They're Tom's shoes. Yes, I was ashamed. I wasn't going to get Tom's for the longest time, nor was I going to get Crocs because they carry with them a stigma. I wouldn't be caught dead in those things. And then I had to be humble, and I wore the Crocs, and they were the most comfortable things that have ever touched my toes. And now I wear them every time I go out and get the mail. Once you go Crocs, you never go back. Actually, I got fake Crocs. I call them Fox. Ha! Clever. Hey, so today we're going to be talking about not the things that I've necessarily purchased, but the things that everybody else out there in Amazon land has purchased. Because what I can see is the reports, the behind the scenes, and I get to see what videos I have created out of the thousands of videos that have been the most help to people based off of your buying habits. And this is very interesting because this is typically an indicator as to what other people are hopping on board and buying. Sometimes you don't want to follow the crowd. Let's say, for example, everybody looks at each other and they're like, we need toilet paper. And you go out and you buy a bunch of toilet paper, and then you have a mound of toilet paper in your garage, and you get shamed for it. Shame on you. Shame on you. Just because there's a pandemic, which I really don't like the overuse of that word lately, doesn't mean you need to go out and buy toilet paper. Do you remember that? What a weird phenomenon that was. What got into people? I think there was that supply chain issue, and everybody was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to stay hygienic unless I have this. That's why they have bidets. Let me tell you, bidets are magical. Once you go bidet, same with Crocs, you never go back. I actually have some great videos on some of the top rated bidets. I actually bought like the top 4 and I reviewed them, and there's one bidet that stands out among the others. But I'm not here to talk about bidets today. I'm here to talk about Honda generators. Whoa, that was out of left field, Beau. What the heck? Again, there's no real theme to these broadcasts because the only theme that I'm following is what people buy based off of the metrics that I can see with all my videos. And so, you may be thinking a Honda generator, that's kind of strange, but consider this. Right now it's summer, right? It's going to be fall on September. Is it the 21st? Is that when fall starts? And right around the corner, we're going to have winter, storms, ice storms. It happens every year. And every year people are going, you know what? I should have bought that generator. Yeah, you should have bought that generator when everything goes out, and all of a sudden you're like, oh man, my refrigerator and freezer has all this food in there, and now it's going to go bad because I don't have any electricity. So maybe, just maybe, these metrics tell me that folks are thinking ahead, and they're like, maybe I should get a generator. And there's one generator that I personally have purchased, and I would recommend. It's a whisper quiet Honda generator. Okay, unless your whispers are like really loud whispers. But believe me, if you've ever witnessed some generators before that are just like the big honking ones that are the size of meat freezers, they are so loud. Wow. But this one will not actually bother the neighbors. You're welcome, neighbors. Yeah, so check this out.
Hello, Amazon.com. It's me, Beau Chevasu, coming to you today with this little powerhouse right now. Yes, it's actually running. And yet, you can probably still hear me, can't you? That's amazing. I've had leaf blowers be twice as loud as this thing right here, and yet still, you can hear me. I have grown up with some generators in my life that have been so painfully loud, your neighbors will thank you. Let's go ahead and set this up. Pretend that you just got it in the box from...
All right, so I am going to talk about the setup, but for just a moment, let's consider the alternative to this right here, because I do recognize that this generator is a bit pricier, maybe a couple $100 pricier than maybe one of the big ones that you would go get at some big box type stores. I won't actually say their brand names, but they're big and they're heavy. And if you've ever experienced a Honda motor and Honda engine, one pull start and it starts. It's so nice. So think of this. Here I am, Beau Chevasu, in the dead of winter, and you can see my neighbor stocking up all of his wood pile over there. And it's raining, it's cold. Now the electricity just went out, and I need to go out and start up the generator. If it's one of those older type generators or the big ones that you got on sale because it was super dirt cheap during Black Friday sale, and you're out there yanking on this thing, if you've ever been in that situation, you will thank me that you spent a little bit more to get a Honda generator. You don't even necessarily have to get this one, but this one is enough to essentially run our refrigerator and freezer downstairs, maybe a few lights. You probably aren't going to be using everything in your house, like your hair dryer, for example, or your microwave, for example. Really, this is just kind of an emergency style fallback for our food, our frozen food, so it won't go bad. So this generator is wonderful. And the instructions are really not the most intuitive. And so I, yours truly, Beau Chevasu, made this wonderful little video to actually show you a bit how to set this thing up. So it's fairly intuitive. And if you're curious before you drop this much money on one of these things, here's a walkthrough. It's very fascinating.
See the oil access, at which point you unscrew that. I put in 14 ounces of oil. Be sure not to overfill that. And I just used 10W30 oil. You can use 5W30 oil if you'd like. And then you're going to replace that panel. And then you're going to be inserting some gas into the gas tank, just regular gas, that's what I did. Then you're gonna be rotating this little knob here on top so it says on. And then you're going to come down here, switch this on, at which point you're going to pull the pull cord. And of course, since I just put fresh gas in, it's basically an empty tank. It's never been primed at all. It's gonna take a few pulls, but eventually it will start right up, and you will be blown away as to how quiet this thing is, especially when it's on eco throttle, which personally it sounds like it's going to die, but maybe that's intentional. Honestly, for the most amount of power that you're gonna get out of it, I would keep the eco throttle off, simply because, well, that's the most power, and that's gonna allow me to run my refrigerator and freezer out in the garage during a winter storm here in the Pacific Northwest. Overall, there you go. Just wanted to give you a down and dirty, brief little demonstration of how to get this thing up and running. It's incredibly quiet. It's kind of pricey, but it is dependable. And that's the number one thing I was looking for in a generator. I needed something that I wasn't out in a winter storm yanking on this thing, trying to get this highly undependable generator working. I've experienced that way too many times, so finally I just shelled out for something that was portable, dependable, fast to start up. It's got the Honda engine, highly recommended. This thing will pay itself off in just one power outage, guaranteed. Oh boy, did I just offer a guarantee there? Uh-oh, that was a hyperbole, okay? Please don't come knocking on my door if your Honda generator actually fails. Hey, there's a guy on YouTube who said guaranteed that I would have a working generator. Maybe you did something bad and you put something in there besides gasoline, and then you're coming to me saying you said it was guaranteed. No, but in all seriousness, it is a smart idea to think of ahead to emergencies, whether it's a power outage, whether it's an earthquake, which could come at any moment. And for me and my little family, I just need a small little generator. Again, I'm not using it to power the entire house. If you really need something like that, you're going to be dropping well over $3,000 to $4,000. But for us and how often we don't get power outages, we just need something supplemental. And so it was well within our budget, and I'm very, very happy that we got this. And then since this, we actually got a Gen-Trans switch installed, a generator, Jennifer transfer switch. Who's Jennifer and why is she transferring into your house? A generator transfer switch is one of those switches that basically you can plug in a power cord from your generator, and it effortlessly disconnects your main power, like what you're getting from, in this case, Puget Sound Energy, and instead it points your source to your generator. And usually it's a big switch right above your power panel. And so when we had our panel upgraded, we ended up getting that installed as well. So you could still use this generator if you'd like, but if you don't have a Gen-Trans switch, you'll probably just be running 2 very long extension cords, because you don't want to be running this thing in your house. I need to say that because some people out there bring their barbecues inside. It's like every year during like a winter storm, it's like, well, another family died from carbon monoxide poisoning because they brought their barbecue inside. It's a gas barbecue, and folks. Anyway, so don't mean to rant. So have the generator far away from your house, which obviously you probably will be, because it still causes a bit of noise and you don't want to be bothered by that when you're there hanging out by candlelight, hanging out with your family. And that's kind of the fun part of power outages. But then just get the longest extension cords and then run them into your house, plug in your refrigerator, plug in our case, a freezer, standalone freezer. And our priority is just pretty much those 2 things. And if we really do need to charge, let's say, an iPhone, then we just run it into a power strip, and there you go. You can just kind of feed off of that. And you can kind of tell when you're feeding too much off of the generators, when they start to die a little bit, like, yeah, like you're smothering them. That's my highly technical way of saying you're drawing too much power from your generator. But I remember when I was in Sierra Leone, West Africa, for a few months there on Mercy ships, a lot of people ran things with generators because there were these rolling blackouts. The power grid is incredibly unstable there in many countries in Africa. And so
you just got used to having this blaring generator always going. And sometimes they would try to shut it inside a small little farmhouse away. And I don't really know if you're supposed to do that with all the exhaust, but it mitigated some of the sound. And then they would get tires, and then they'd put it on top of the tires so that it wouldn't shake the concrete, and the tires would sort of soak up the vibrations. Fascinating, huh? Very, very resourceful individuals and people over there. So there you go. There is the that Honda generator, which is my #1 seller as of yesterday. So I don't know if it's a better price. You can look up on a lot of websites to see if it dropped. I don't think it did. It's pretty stable. This is not one of those things that you should wait and try to nickel and dime and find a coupon. Usually it goes based off of inventory. And during the winter time, especially during emergencies, these things are snatched up so fast. So don't be one of those people. Just be prepared. Unless, of course, you don't mind everything in your refrigerator wilting and dying because it's perishable. For me, oh boy, it's paid itself off already because we didn't lose all of the frozen meat. We bought a half a cow, and that can be kind of expensive. And so there you go. Oh, and it was delicious too. It was a Scottish beef cattle. The Scottish beef cattle, the ones with the hair, the bangs. You drive by them and they're like, "Moo! What are you looking at? Do you want to pick a fight with me?" Yeah, Scottish beef cattle. All right. They choose freedom. Let's move on to a refrigerator. Is your refrigerator running? If it is, you better go catch it. Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Did you see that coming? Tell me you saw that coming. Of course you didn't. So this refrigerator is rather fascinating because even if you're not looking for a refrigerator, I'd like to do a little director's cut commentary on this. Because that's the beautiful thing about this. Even if you're not looking for a refrigerator, it's still just entertaining. I was in a bistro in Buckley, Washington. Really great place. If you're swinging through Main Street, definitely offer them your patronage and go in there. They've got an amazing assortment of beverages on tap, if you know what I mean. And they have this refrigerator. And I was just casually sitting there sipping on my root beer and drinking my pizza, eating my pizza. And lo and behold, if you zoom in, they've got this famous guy's smoked cheese in there. I just realized that. There's a local guy, and it's really hard to get his cheese. It's so good, you guys. It's like, I want to say it's like butter, but that's kind of gross, just saying. So you take a bite of butter. Oh, but it's so smooth and so rich. And I just realized that smoked cheese is in that refrigerator. I might have to go back. But anyway, back to the refrigerator. This thing is, for some reason, a top seller. And there I was with my chin strap. I tend to change facial hair with the phases of the moon. And I saw this thing, and I briefly looked it up on Amazon. And sure enough, the refrigerator was sold on Amazon. And so with the permission of the people there, because I didn't want to weird them out by all of a sudden filming their refrigerator, I said, can I go and look at the features of this little refrigerator? Because it's cool, because you can easily display merchandise on this. And so if you are a small little shopkeeper, this thing is shipped to you straight to your door. Matter of fact, I bet my dad, who works at a local Amazon warehouse, and they deal with oversized stuff such as kayaks, TVs, and refrigerators. Oh, if you're here in the Pacific Northwest and you buy this refrigerator, yeah, I bet my dad will put his personal touch on it for you. You're welcome. Anyway, he loves his job. He really does. Amazon is very interesting. It's a very interesting company. They think of it as a conglomeration of hundreds of startups. It's fascinating. So that's how some people can say, oh, you don't work for Amazon. It's a horrible place and you're abused. And then other people are like, it's great. The stock options are fantastic. The benefits are great. Well, it really depends on the department that you are in. It really, really does. And so in this particular instance, my dad, he worked for Amazon Go. It's the just walk out technology. Matter of fact, I just walked by the store in Bellevue. Really cool to see them still using this technology. And so as you can see in this shop right here, you go up to that candy jar and you pick out something, load it in a bag, take it up to the cash register. They ring you out, you walk out. For Amazon Go, the just walk out technology, it's incredible. You scan your phone almost as if you're walking through a subway turnstile, and you look up when you walk in, and there are these wires and cables running everywhere, almost akin to the last scene in The Matrix, which I've used to describe before my office because there are so many cables everywhere. And you don't know how you're being tracked, but they are tracking you somehow. All you have to do is scan your phone. You walk up to a place, like let's say a refrigerator like this. You pull your Arizona iced tea, and you just walk out. You walk out of the building. You don't scan it anywhere. You don't give it to an employee. You walk out through the same turnstile so they know that that body has left, but nothing is scanned. And you may think, well, Beau, RFID chips have been around forever. Surely there's like a little tinfoil magnetic barcode on there, and you walk through the little beepers, at Nordstrom that go beep, 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 beep. No, it's not like that. The products are basic products, just a paper UPC code on there. That's all. How do they do it? How are they tracking you in this store? I don't know. But if I remember correctly, my record for going into an Amazon Go and grabbing some peanut M&Ms and then running out was like 14 seconds. From the time I ran into the store, scanned, ran up, grabbed it, ran out. 14 seconds to buy something. I know. I felt like I was shoplifting something. But in this particular case, the refrigerator, do keep in mind the refrigerator is not magnetic on the front, only on the side. So if you're going to put your pictures of your family, it's only going to go on the side. Real sorry about that. So there you go. It's a refrigerator. This is my number 2 selling item. For some strange reason, everybody's like, wow, this is really helpful to see this video. Fascinating, huh? Let's talk health for a moment. I like health. Actually, I like eating more than I like health. But I recognize that in order to eat what I want to, I need to work out a lot. Does that make sense? Some people say, oh, you can eat whatever you'd like. And just work out whatever. No, it's the opposite. I work out whatever so that then I can eat whatever I like. Speaking of, this last Sunday, I did a half marathon. I felt fantastic. It was great. When you get to the point of running a half marathon, the next morning you wake up and you feel good. It's a great feeling, you guys. So get to that point. Get to that point before we hit the holidays, before you hit Thanksgiving. Don't wait until New Year's. Oh, New Year's resolutions drive me absolutely batty, where everybody puts off things that are good for themselves until a magical point in time. And then, and only then, they will use that time, that resolution as leverage to motivate them, which is motivation. But motivation is fleeting. Discipline, however, to create a habit, that is how you actually get results. Yeah, see, you didn't know you'd be getting some truth bombs today, did you? So results come from habits and discipline, not motivation. Everybody says, oh, I just need some motivation. You don't need motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It's like dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. All right, so here we are, this cool little thing. You can see me demonstrating in the upper right. It seems like a strange type contraption that you're probably wondering, there's all sorts of weird things you can do with this. But it's very, very versatile. You can do leg lifts, as you can see. Previously, I was also doing some pull-ups. It can get a little rickety, so you can see me tightening it right there, and it's no longer rickety, but it depends on with how much aggression you actually attack this thing. So you can see I did dips to target the triceps. I was doing some push-ups. This thing doesn't take up a lot of real estate and space in your home gym, so that's why I appreciate this thing. And for some reason, it's selling as number 3. Yeah. Oh, Maria, thank you for following. Oh, God bless you. That's a pretty name, Maria. I like that. Nice to meet you. I'm Beau. So there you go. This fascinating demonstration of this wonderful little workout. They call it a a tower of power. No, wait, that's a band from the 70s. A power tower. There we go. And actually, my mom uses this daily. And yeah, it's extremely versatile. As opposed to, let's say you're just running on a treadmill. What exercise do you get on a treadmill? Well, it gets your heart rate up and gets your legs moving, so it can work your lower body, but that's pretty much it. My point is that there are some machines like the spinner bike that you can see in the lower left, they really only accomplish one type of exercise. And I'm a fan of versatility. And so this, for example, you get all sorts of different muscle groups being worked with this particular device. And it doesn't take up as much space as a treadmill. But it is only as effective as your discipline is, if that makes sense. So if you do buy this, you're going to have to promise me that your goal is 10 pull-ups, unassisted pull-ups, okay? All right? I'm holding you to it. I want you to tune into a future live stream and be like, Beau, I got that thing, that Sports Royals Power Tower, and it took me 11 months, but I can do 10 pull-ups unassisted on my own. I am proud of you. If that happens, I will send you a package of tactical hair clips at no charge, just for you. Crunches, leg lifts, all sorts of fantastic things. And this is what it looks like all put together. So I hope this helps, giving you a real world demonstration. Works for us. Hopefully it works for you. Yeah. Handy, huh? Very handy. Hey, let's move on to, ooh, okay. So I have 2 barbecues down below. You'll notice these and you may be like, but Beau, you're only going to be demonstrating 1 barbecue. This is the fascinating phenomenon behind how Amazon operates. They operate based off of these algorithms that nobody sees, but people much, much smarter than me are creating these algorithms that direct people's consumer buying habits. And sometimes I feel a little manipulated. It's like, wait a second, I do not want my emotions manipulated. I do not need that. Which is why in this broadcast as an influencer, I try to be as authentic as possible. And if you don't need a barbecue, then don't buy a barbecue. That's okay. But there are some people who are like, you know what? That grease is really piling up and it's getting kind of yucky. What would it look like if I did buy a barbecue off of Amazon? And for those few people, and also people who just want to simply be entertained by my crazy stories, I have a barbecue to show you guys. Now, this
So you're
Cuisinart
considering buying a barbecue in a
Oh, wait. You know what? I need to stop right there. I need to stop. It's like when my pastor is preaching, he starts his sentence with, therefore, and then he says, let me stop right there. And he unpacks that word. Why is it therefore? And it's just fantastic. So anyway, I just reminded myself of that wonderful public speaker, my pastor, because he says, he stops himself immediately when he starts something. And that's what I'm doing right here. Check out my shirt. Yeah, that shirt is a custom printed shirt here on Amazon. All you have to do is upload your photo and they will print your photo all over this material. And then they will custom make a t-shirt with that material. I know. Isn't that amazing? I know. It's not even in the carousel down below. I'm so excited about it. But anyway, let's actually talk about the Cuisinart barbecue. Some people are like, okay, so how does a barbecue get delivered to you? Is it delivered in one piece? How much do you have to unpackage it? And here we are unpackaging it in fast motion. You're welcome. Otherwise, this would be a 30-minute long video and you'd be bored to tears. But packaging is... I'm kind of on the fence about it. You know, some people say there's too much packaging. And oftentimes I'm with those people. It's like, man, it fills up my garbage can. It's kind of a waste. You know, I'm not going to get all tree huggery right here. I do love the outdoors, but you do get to a point where you have a giant chunk of foam, or you buy a leather belt and it comes in a big box with a whole bunch of those blow up pillows. And you're just like, was this really necessary? You could have put the leather belt in a paper envelope and that would have sufficed just nicely. But where I'm going with this is looking at things from the perspective of the Amazon seller because I know a lot about that side of things, which also makes me very unique as an influencer. I know how all of that operates very intimately. So a seller has a product, let's say, for example, these tactical hair clips right here. And to save a few cents on these tactical hair clips are not going to come in this plastic packaging, right? And everybody celebrates. We go, yes, less plastic packaging. It's easier to open, it's easier to access, and I don't have to throw this packaging away, and I'm happy. However, because there's no plastic packaging on there, 1 out of 100 people they're going to receive their tactical hair clips, which is a real thing. They're going to receive their tactical hair clips and they're going to be scratched. Like, oh man, so they're going to get on, they're going to put 1 out of 5 stars. My tactical hair clips showed up with a scratch. How dare them? You know? And so there you go. Now 1% of customers are unhappy. That 1% of customers, that could have been mitigated with 2 cents worth of plastic packaging. You see where I'm going with this? So when people like sellers put together a barbecue and have it shipped with a whole bunch of packaging around it, they are simply ensuring that their shiny stove top, which costs them what, $50 to manufacture that thing, and could be undermined by a small little scratch. And otherwise they could protect that investment with 10 cents worth of foam. So it's worth it. Basically, it's a cost, it's a risk assessment that you have to make as an Amazon seller to see whether or not you should put packaging in there or not. And more often than not, that is why things are overpackaged. It's because they're just trying to protect their investment, and packaging is really, really cheap. So until there is a draconian law that comes around that someone says you are not allowed to use that much packaging, there will always be that much packaging. They're simply trying to protect their investment. So there you go. Fascinating behind the scenes about how Amazon sellers work, huh? So there you go. This is the barbecue in action. I had a family over, and let's back up this video a little bit and make sure you see me cooking some delicious burgers.
Gas tank won't be able to really sit in there very well.
This is the final verdict. Yes, it works. It's easy to ignite. All 4 lighters do work.
And look at that. We've got hamburger patties on there, and we've got a whole bunch of people over enjoying libations. Oh boy, 5 out of 5 stars, highly recommended.
I just realized that my brother was in the shot. You kind of heard him going, oh, it's kind of like Beaker, the Muppet, me, at the end. Yes, he's funny. He's also an Amazon influencer, by the way, which I don't like to say influencer. It infers that I'm trying to manipulate people's emotions into buying something that you don't need. No, honestly, I'm just trying to tell you about my purchases, what I like, and also what I don't like. It's true. I review a lot of stuff. If you check out my YouTube channel, over 22,000 subscribers, you will see some 1 out of 5 stars videos. And oh boy, I just rail into them. Usually I try to give sellers the benefit of the doubt because sometimes factories do fail. And I try to be gracious with them. And if I'm the 1% of people to get a scratch on my tactical hair clips, I'm going to contact them first and say, hey guys, I got a scratch. And more often than not, they are fantastic customer service representatives, and they look forward to pleasing the customer, saying, yes, we'll send you 2 packages for free. Thank you so much for telling us that. And that's usually the case. Yeah. So I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes though, something is a very bad product, like that teepee I bought once here on Amazon. It was like a little kid's teepee. And this is a real review. You can see it. I'm playing inside of it, and my little girls are playing in it too, and we're just having a fun time, and my wife is laughing. And then I give this toy teepee to my sister, who has a whole bunch more kids. So I thought, I'll be generous. She has more kids. They will enjoy this more. Turns out the next day she says that there were some earwigs that hatched in the PVC piping that put the TP together. Do you guys know what earwigs are? Is that like a term just for the Pacific Northwest? I think they also call them silverfish in other areas. I don't know. What do you call them? Are they earwigs? But anyway, they're nasty little bugs that kind of are sort of wiggly and slimy. And they hatched in my poor sister's house. Needless to say, I gave that product a 1 out of 5 stars. And there's actually a photo at the end of my review where it is fully engulfed in flames because I took it out back and burned it. Burn it with fire. I'm pretty sure that's what my response was to my sister when she said, "So, do you want it back?" I said, "No, burn it with fire." So you may be also wondering why the Dyna Glow barbecue. What a strange name for a brand. Doesn't that sound like something that some sort of makeup, And now, ladies and gentlemen, bringing to you Tyra Banks and her world-renowned foundation, Dynaglow. This makeup is life-changing. Nope, it's a barbecue. Dynaglow. Yeah, so this thing I actually tagged because for some reason my reports show that more people are buying this than the Cuisinart. And I looked really, really closely. I think they're the same thing. Go ahead and look at it. I'm pretty sure I was looking so closely. The only difference I could find was the brand. One says Cuisinart, the other says Dynaglow. I mean, actually, the Cuisinart one is less expensive. You would think that Cuisinart one would be more expensive because, it's Cuisinart, known for their quality. Yeah, for some reason, the algorithm is serving people the Dynaglow. I don't know why, but I personally bought the Cuisinart one, and it had more ratings and it was cheaper. And as you saw in my video, it's fairly easy to put together. So in case you actually want to replicate how to put this together, you can always go to this page, and when you scroll down, you'll see all of the videos right there, and you'll probably see my video without the commentary showing you how to put together this barbecue. Cool, huh? Yeah. Hey, let's move on to weighing yourself. Oh, Beau, I don't want to weigh myself. I just put together a barbecue and had burgers. But wait.
I'm putting away all my clothes.
Oh, wait. Just a moment. We're not weighing ourselves. My daughter Penny, who I do have consent to have in this broadcast, she's showing you how to put away dirty clothes. I forgot about this one. She's so adorable. Do you want to see a kid put away laundry? Because it will inspire you to get a laundry hamper for your children. Oh boy, this was such a good idea. For the longest time, we just kind of had them throw their dirty clothes in a pile or throw them out into the hall, or we'd try to threaten them just short of their life to take their dirty clothes down to the washer. But now with a laundry hamper that is split in two because we've got 2 girls, this is a brilliant idea to have Penny put her clothes in one side and then Lucy put her clothes in the other side. Brilliant, huh? So let's go ahead and take a look and see how this operates for a little kid. You can see her explaining this whole thing.
And me, I wear a lot of clothes every day, so this is very helpful.
This inner thing right here, this little piece of cloth.
This is the thing. It's so you can do this and you won't have to reach in.
Yeah, that liner comes out so that the whole thing can slip out and you can take it just downstairs just as the bag itself. Okay, very nice.
I can barely lift it.
That's so there you go. This laundry hamper is pretty darn cool. Look, I even put that. Reviews with Penny at the very end to give her a little street credit there. She will be a famous influencer and be retiring when all of us are doing our 9-to-5s. But anyway, the laundry hamper is very robust. It is very strong, and I was quite pleased with it. It doesn't fold up like a lot of laundry hampers do and collapse underneath you. And the beautiful thing about this is that it is split in two, meaning that if you put all your whites in one side and all your colors in the other, or in this particular case, you see those little white tags on top. My lovely wife put a Lucy and a Penny on top of those so that they won't fight over, well, you put your dirty clothes in my dirty clothes. Why do children do that? I don't know. I've never fought with an adult over him putting his dirty socks near my dirty socks. Have you? If you have issues. Okay, hey, let's talk about this. I promised you this healthometer thing, didn't I? This is rather strange, but for some reason, people have been purchasing this.
Hello,
and
little
watching this
minions. It
video.
is me, Beau. I wanted to show you guys today what hotels use in their workout facilities.
Okay, I need to give you some behind the scenes here. This oh boy, this digital scale right here. I think I was in Richmond, Virginia with my buddy, and we were at a hotel, and I saw this thing, and I was really surprised to see that it was sold on Amazon. And so as I was working out, I kind of thought to myself, this is kind of helpful information. If I was looking for a scale to buy, especially if I had a fitness studio, a gym, or a hotel gym, I would want to know what works for other hotels. What is robust, what is sturdy, what is user friendly, because not everybody who goes to a hotel is technologically savvy. And so I basically took a 45-second video and I made this about this, which is rather strange because the Tanita, which you can see tagged down below, that's actually selling more than the Healthometer one right here. They operate very, very similarly. You see how they're both that stand-up type. So if you have like low vision, and you can't see very well because some of those scales you step on and you're squinting at the numbers, and by the time you bend down, your weight has gone away. So for this, especially for elderly people, works really well. So I can see this working in a lot of doctors' offices, or if you're not familiar with your demographic, young, old, medium-aged, this works quite well. So there you go. Exact same design as this Tanita WB3000 digital scale, and it works for a hotel, and it might actually work for you. You might actually be wondering, well, why were you at a hotel? We are hired yearly to do video and film at a conference. It's a missions conference. It's so cool. So a bunch of crazy on fire people for Jesus meet, and I am one of those crazy on fire people for Jesus. And we all get together and we, swap stories, swap encouragement. Some of these people are out in the middle of the jungle in Cambodia, and they're just doing awesome stuff for the people there. So cool. And sometimes this conference that they go to is the only chance they have to come back to their home states. And so they come to this conference, and we are hired by the conference, being missionary videographers, to go in and kind of capture this really cool event. And oftentimes we meet people there and they send us to these places. Matter of fact, last time was Liberia. My buddy with whom I also work at this nonprofit film studio, he was sent to Liberia, and he got some awesome video made for these nonprofits over there. So nonprofits, the big ones, usually have marketing departments like World Vision, for example, huge marketing departments, and they don't need us at all. But for some of the middle tier nonprofits, they recognize they can't quite get away with volunteer talent. Volunteer talent usually just means that they won't get the product. Hey, made up name, Sarah, you filmed in Africa 2 years ago. Where's the footage? And if you know anything about creatives, we procrastinate. We do. You need to give us a deadline, and you cannot pay a creative person until the project is done. I know that it pains me to say that because I do like to get paid because I use that money to buy groceries for my family. But I'm telling you right now, if you hire a creative person, do not pay them $1 until they are done, because they need that carrot dangling in front of them. Otherwise, it'll never get done. It never will. And ask for a deadline too. Deadlines are very important. So that is something that I have learned over the last 10, 11, 12 years of running this nonprofit with fellow creatives, is that we go out into the world and we capture video for awesome people doing awesome stuff in the world on behalf of God. So it's a fun job, really fun. Been all over the world, over 33 countries. Now, when I go to some of these countries, oh, this is a beautiful segue. Good job. Good job. Okay, so when I go to some of these countries, I have cats at home and also abroad. I like to pet the cats on the street because that's one of my 12 rules from Jordan Peterson. Let's see, be precise in your speech. Do not bother children when they're skateboarding. Rule number 12, pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. Good philosophy, good advice to live by. And so I pet cats on the street when I encounter one, if they'll allow me to. Some of them don't. Some of them don't trust me. They don't trust men with mustaches. So I have 3 cats at home, and I have hired my nieces and nephews, or sometimes.
So, for some strange reason, this is.
There we go. So this cat feeder right here is an automatic cat feeder. And it is the funniest thing ever. 3 times a day when it dispenses kibble and food, to hear my cats come scrambling down the stairs to get their food, even though they're fed plenty. As a matter of fact, they're probably fed a little too much. They're a little portly. But that sound of the kibble falling in there gets them every time, and they come running from all over the house. Matter of fact, I just saw Lippy out there. He was sunbathing. I think cats are like the only animal in the world that is permanently retired. So you push this button and it dispenses. If you want to push it out manually, see, it just kind of drops out, or you can set a schedule, which I have, at 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 6 o'clock throughout the day, and it dispenses the food. And for 3 cats, I fill this up about once every 2 weeks. And so if I am on a 2-week mission somewhere, I top this off, I top off their water, and they're pretty much good to go. Sometimes I have other people come over and say hi to them and give them pets and all sorts of love, because they can be social creatures. But this smart feeder is pretty cool. I would say 2 things I don't like about this. Because again, this is a full disclosure broadcast. I'm not here to try to oversell anything and gush about something. And, oh, this is a life-saving appliance. It's not. But I will say that the camera on the front, so see that little teardrop right in the middle? That is a camera that can hook up to your phone. And you might be like, wow, that's really cool, because then when I'm gone, I get to turn that camera on to see if they're actively being fed. Who knows? Maybe it jammed for some reason, even though it never has, or maybe I just want to see my cats eating, and you'll love them. They have funny little personalities. Well, it turns out that that camera is positioned up, and it's not positioned down. You can't orient it. It's locked into there. And so you're staring straight ahead. As a matter of fact, if I were to kind of skip forward, you see me right there pointing at the wall. The camera is filming the wall. So that's the only downside about this thing, is that I wish the camera was pointed down. The main use of this product is that it automatically dispenses food to your small little animals. And for that use, it works 100%. But the little camera feature is kind of a little kitschy, a little dinky, and it doesn't quite work very well. So I was looking forward to seeing my pets coming up and eating and seeing how much food was dispensed, and I couldn't see a thing. So my workaround, by the way, was to set up a mirror. And so I looked through the camera, and the camera was pointed into the mirror, and then the mirror was angled downward towards the food. And then I could see whether or not it was dispensing. So it is possible. It's just kind of, come on, Whoa Pet, which is the name of this product right here. I wish that camera was pointed down a little bit. But yeah, automate, automate, automate. My cats are always going to need food. You might as well automate it. Do you really need to go down 2, maybe sometimes 3 times a day and measure something out and give it to them? No, just figure out their portion sizes, which might take a week or 2 to be like, oh, this dispensed too much. And you just open up the app and change the portion size a little bit until it distributes just the right amount every time. It's especially good if your animal needs a diet, or if you don't have enough self-control to give your animal enough the right portion size. I know some people are like that, especially when they have cute little Dachshunds or Beagles with those big Bambi eyes, and they look at you like they're starving, and you say, nope, I have automated this process. You have been fed. The robot has fed you. I will give you tummy rubs and other things, but nope, no more. All right, so there you go. There's this fantastic little automatic feeder. Hey, let's move on to, what do we got next? Chickens. We got chickens next. Oh, boy. So speaking of automation.
Everybody, I wanted to share with you guys this quick tip on how to install your run chicken on your chicken coop. Now, you could have an urban chicken coop, something like this, or a bigger one. But you will notice that with these smaller type coops, if you were to look in there, there's not a lot of headroom to actually mount this thing, because you have to keep in mind when you mount this, you're not just taking into account this space, but also twice as much, because eventually this door slides up, all the way up. So you need to take into account all that space. So that's the reason why for most of these smaller chicken coops,
I just have to pause it right there. No, there's nothing wrong with your internet. I purposely paused this. Isn't that amazing? It's an automatic chicken door, right? Right when you thought that having urban chickens would be absolutely impossible, this chicken coop we actually purchased here off of Amazon.com, or you can build your own out of some pallets if you're a cheapskate. But this door right here has paid itself off so many times already. Having grown up with chickens outside, not like grown up with chickens in my house, that would be weird. I would have to go out and open and close the door every single morning and night, because you don't want possums and raccoons and other rodents to access your wonderful little chicken friends. This automates the process. It's absolutely wonderful. So when I'm laying there in bed right now, I can sleep soundly knowing that the door is closed. Outstanding. There's also a way to actually hook this up to solar as well, but already this has been going all summer and I haven't needed to change the batteries. I keep kind of waiting, but still operating 100%, and it goes based off of sunlight. So when it gets dark, it closes, and when it starts to get light, it opens. Amazing, huh? And our 3 little fluffy bottom chickens are all happy, and they give us lots of eggs, and we give them lots of grass and food scraps and other things. And matter of fact, I think our chickens are probably the happiest chickens in the neighborhood. They actually run up to us now. I've never seen this before. Our chickens run up and they squat down and wait to be scratched, like under the wings, and pet and picked up. And my daughter picks them up and carries a chicken around like a cat. It's kind of weird at first. Now it's very adorable. Before I didn't really like chickens, beady little eyes, sharp little beaks, but when you're nice to them, they are nice to you. Go figure. Wow. So this run chicken door is absolutely phenomenal because it automates the process of opening and closing your chicken coop every single night. So if you want to see the full video, if in fact you're interested in the installation, you can just go and click on that. You can scroll down and you will see my entire installation process. You're welcome. There we go. Hey, all right. So it looks like number seven top seller for today, based off of the metrics that I personally see, is this fire ladder. Now, some of you may have actually seen this fire ladder in action. Oh, this is just so cool. Right now, this fire ladder is not in our bedroom. It's in our garage. Why is that? Because our house, our rooms have multiple exits, but there are some houses, especially old ones, the rooms are kind of set back and there's only one way in and one way out. So that means that if in the event of a fire that's blocking you in and you're 2 stories up, well, I guess I could jump out the window right there onto the cement down below and break my leg. Or you can spend a few bucks and you can have this thing in your closet as long as your arms are long enough. In my actual review, you can see right there that my daughter, who is like 8 or 9 at this point, she couldn't reach out and grab that ripcord, that pull tab, which disengages the whole thing and it kind of fans out like an accordion. So if you have some kid with longer arms, this would work really well. If you have a really, really little kid, I would not say that this is the best option for them. It is a one-time use, very similar to a fire extinguisher. So if you think that you're going to be practicing with this, unless you're very, very meticulous putting it back together, it's pretty hard to put back together. you kind of have to get the slats and fold one webbing in and fold the other webbing in and smash the slat back down. And it's kind of like packing a parachute, because the last thing you want to happen is to practice with this thing, which is very important. But then when you actually go to use it, you deploy it and it gets all tangled up. And you don't want that to happen. But it's very important in the event of an emergency or before an emergency to talk with your kids and even drill some of the things. They may roll their eyes at you for doing this, say, oh, you're just role playing. But no, it's very important to say, hey, what happens if there's a fire? Where do you go? Oh, well, I never thought about this, but I guess I go to my neighbor and I would knock on the door and try to have them call 911. Great. Okay. And what if they don't wake up? Well, I'd go to that neighbor. Good job. So it's really, really smart to just kind of go through some of these scenarios with your kids or even your spouse, and especially little kids. Hey, what if I'm putting up Christmas lights? Mom is at the store shopping. It's just you and me putting up Christmas lights, and I fall off the ladder and I get knocked unconscious. What would you do? Go ahead, ask your kids this, and we'll see if they have the wherewithal to say, oh, well, I would adapt. Would they really? So talk about certain situations like this. Right now, if there's an earthquake, what would you do? You won't believe how many people would say, run out of the building, which is what I did as a little kid because I was so excited. It's like, we're having an epic earthquake. This is great. I wasn't told and trained to, get under my desk, get in a doorway, stay away from windows or large pieces of glass, or maybe don't do a live stream in front of a giant wall with knives and machetes behind you. That would be funny if there was an actual earthquake at this very moment. So this fire ladder is one of my top sellers as of the moment, and partly due to the credit of this video right here. I really break down everything about this and give a lot of feedback, everything from how to remove the screen, how to talk to your kids about this, and also how it actually deploys. So I'm also rather critical about a few facets of it. So it's not a commercial that's, gushing about it and it's, oh, this is absolutely going to save your life. I actually give you some real world feedback from a fellow who is not a firefighter, even though I do have a handsome firefighter mustache on today. Yes. Hey, speaking of security, this is probably the fastest review I've ever done in my life. Roll it.
Here's a quick little demonstration. I'm actually going to open it up so you can actually see the deadbolt. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, lock. And then I'm going to get my thumbprint and we're going to go ahead and put it right there. Just like that.
There you go. That was the review. So I actually have a full-on video how to install this Wise lock, but I have been through so many smart locks, and they drove me crazy. The last smart lock I tried was from August, and it had amazing ratings on it. I was like, oh, surely all these people can't be wrong. Oh, they can be wrong. Yeah. You notice how many people voted in the other election for this guy? Anyway, I won't get political. So a lot of people bought some other smart locks out there, and this one by far is the best one. Not only is it fast, but it's responsive. You can get your thumbprint, put it on there, and within a second, it opens up, as opposed to 2, 3, sometimes 4 seconds on these other smart locks. Plus, the battery life is epic. These other smart locks, sometimes you need to charge them with an external power bank. Who wants to charge their deadbolt with a giant power bank and you try to plug that in? That's silly beans. So for this is awesome because it requires, 2 to 4 AA batteries. So conventional, cheap batteries, right? And doesn't require even a 9-volt battery, which can get kind of pricey. The August smart locks, they require the CR123 batteries, the little round batteries that look like an R2D2 unit. Those are expensive. especially with how much they eat them up. We're talking like replacing these batteries every 30 days. That's what I had to do on the other smart locks. This lock is amazing. You will thank me next time you go and you accidentally lock yourself out of your house with this thing, and you'll have the code to get in. No more keys. Isn't that amazing? Plus, it doesn't actually, how do I say this? It's a bit more secure than some smart locks out there. There are some overseas smart locks that I would not trust to have the ability to lock me in and out of my home. It's a security feature. So this company I trust. Wise is pretty good. And it just installs directly onto your existing deadbolt. The hole right there, very easy to install. And if you're curious on how to install this, go ahead and click on that deadbolt link right there, and you can scroll down and probably see my whole installation video where I walk through step by step. You don't have to interpret all of these strange directions. You can just watch my video and be like, yeah, I could do that. Plus, one last really, really cool thing that they have on this lock that a lot of smart locks do not have. I have it set at a certain time of day for it to automatically lock. Think about that for a moment. How often do you walk around your house every single night buttoning it up, right? You go and you lock that door, check that, close those blinds, check your cars and make sure they're locked so that prowlers don't come and take some stuff from your vehicle. And for me, this has saved me so much because it is guaranteed that these automatically lock at a certain time. Now you may think, oh no, what if you happen to be out and it automatically locks you out? That's okay, because there's a keypad on there for you to just go doot, 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 doot and get in. Unlike the August smart locks, does not have a keypad. You still need a key to open that up. The only smart function on it is the inside is a smart lock, but this is the inside and outside. So you can still get in if it auto locks. Brilliant, right? So this Wise lock, it's no wonder that this is one of my top rated, most popular reviews, and that is number 10. And now for a bonus. This is called the pickle. All right, let's roll. Epic. I made this video, by the way. We're gonna stop it right there because that's the end of the video. Did you ever think that a hair clip could ever be so epic? Well, I just blew you away because this is the last and final product of this broadcast. These are tactical hair clips. Yes, you heard that correctly. What you just saw right there was actually the cyberpunk version right there, which you can see displayed on the carousel down below. And in case you want a visual of the other colors, I happen to have those right here. And so this is the classic tactical black. This is the top rated one here on Amazon compared to the other colors. However, if you have blonde hair, whoosh, we've got a blonde version. Cool, huh? Amazing. So what are so neat about these things is that they are basically minimalist multi-tools that you don't necessarily need a pocket knife on you to cut through packing tape or to cut through a zip tie. As you saw in that epic video, don't mean to speak too highly of it there, not like someone produced that. So these tactic clips basically turn you into a MacGyver. Not that they will solve all of the world's problems, but I will say right now that it's pretty awesome when you're there at a birthday party and someone says, does someone have a pocket knife? And you reach it and your beautiful wife reaches into her hair and pulls out this multi-tool hair clip safely. Of course, it's safe on the hair. It doesn't have like a sharpened edge like a conventional pocket knife, which is why these tactical hair clips can actually go through TSA. That's right. My buddy just texted me yesterday and he said, the TSA guys found my tactical hair clip. I said, what happened, Glenn? What happened? And he said, well, it went to one guy and then it went up to another level. Then it finally went up to the topmost supervisor. And he glanced at it and he said, yeah, it's just a hair clip. Just don't flaunt it. Amazing, huh? So I travel with these things all the time because they're not pocket knives. They don't have a sharpened edge. They do have a sharpened point in as much as a sharpened pencil has a sharpened point. Honestly, you could probably do more damage to take down an airplane with a sharpened pencil than a little hair clip. But let's not go into safety theater in the TSA. This isn't a commentary on that. It's just that I've traveled a lot of places to over 33 different countries, and half the time it just feels like theater. It's like, really? 3.4 ounces? I can't have anything dangerous in a 3.4 ounce container. Nope. As long as it's under that, you're good to go. Okay. What if I had like 20 of these 3.4 ounce containers, right? Full of who knows what? Couldn't I combine them on the airplane? Who thought of these rules? Okay. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but back to the tactical hair clips. So I travel with these things. They're fantastic. I put one inside the liner of my baseball cap, and not one time have they been confiscated by TSA. And if they are by some miracle, which they shouldn't because they're not a pocket knife, it's just a multi-tool hair clip, then go ahead and contact the manufacturer, and I guarantee you the individuals there will get you a free package. And if they don't, tell them that Beau told you, and they will send you 2 packages. Yeah, that's right. So there you go, tactical hair clips. What's so cool about these guys is that they also have a 10% off promo code, which is exclusive only to this broadcast. That's right, no one else knows about this. So if you go ahead and buy those right now, let's say you're going to stock up for Christmas for stocking stuffers, you better do it, because I was just actually talking with the individuals, and yeah, the inventory for the black hair clips is getting really, really low. I'm not even sure if they're going to have enough for Christmas. I don't know, but I'm going to tell you about them anyway because they're really cool. There you go, everybody. Oh boy, fun time. So I'm going to write fun time right there in the chat to prove to the Amazon algorithms that I am active, and this is not a pre-recorded broadcast. As a matter of fact, it is 8:19 p.m. on September 6th. It's a beautiful Tuesday. Don't know what time it is right there that you are tuning in from, whether it's the East Coast or maybe even you're over in the Netherlands. I don't know. If so, I welcome you to this broadcast. But with that being said, it's time to let you go. I hope that you've enjoyed this. This is a very unique influencer broadcast because I love to show all sorts of B-roll of products out in the field being used as evidenced by that epic video talking about the tactical hair clips, and then the last 10 products that I highlighted. And yes, this is a recorded broadcast. So after I finish in just the next 30 seconds, you are actually able to go back and be thoroughly entertained and educated as to what in the world I was talking about. So there you go. I want to thank the 2.1 thousand subscribers. That number is also called 2,100 subscribers. And I want to thank you for following me here on Amazon. Because of you guys, Amazon has been very gracious in boosting my broadcast upward. And thank you to Mariah D. Navasanchez for following right there. I see your name and I appreciate you. And remember, you are important. God loves you. I love you. Go out, make the world a better place. That's it.